Hey guys, if you missed YMH Live 6, you can watch it now. Go to ymhstudios.com/rentals. It's the wildest show we've ever done with a huge live audience. I hope you enjoy it. Check it out now.
Have you ever caught a woman?
Never. And there you go.
But call me a chomo.
Number one.
Welcome to your mom's house.
This episode of Your Mom's House is brought to you by Saatva. Go to Saatva, SAATVA.com/theshit and get $200 off any mattress of your choice. Yeah. Guess what? It is Your Mom's House podcast. She's Christine. I'm Todd.
He's Todd.
And I got to tell you, this is the last Palmcast ever from the studio.
I know. This our last one.
Once the studio that the great McDonald's Corporation funded. Mm-hmm. And after, let's say a not so happy meal, we met the good people at Morton's, and they funded the current space you see. And now we're going off to real steak country, to a Texas studio that as of the release of this episode will probably still not be done yet.
Well, Chick-fil-A has signed on to do...
Are we allowed to say that?
Oh, we're not? Well, as long as we painted the colors of Chick-fil-A red and white, right? Are we not allowed to announce that?
I thought we had to wait. Contractually, we're not.
Well, it rhymes with, it sounds like...
Sick-fine.
Sick-fine.
Sure. Make sure you cut that up, okay?
Yeah. I'll edit all this out.
Okay. So that'll be a thing, and we can't wait for the special sauce of that studio to be ready to digest.
I love their original sauce so much.
It's really
Is there
good.
anything better than that?
It's really
orangey?
good. And you dip the waffle fries in
Oh
them?
my God.
Come on,
Now,
man.
Chick-fil-A breakfast is another story too.
And here's the thing.
I've had that before.
I'm not saying it's not good for you, like eating Chick-fil-A every day.
Very good for you.
Well, it's debatable.
I eat it every day.
And here's the thing.
My ankle's perfect.
I'm willing to lose a few years, is what I'm saying. And that's what I think one of the slogans of Chick-fil-A should be. Eat this every day if you're willing to lose a few years. And I think most of us go, I am. And it doesn't bother me that, they're not pro civil rights.
No, those sandwiches are too good for that.
Yeah.
Most Texans don't either. Hell.
If you're like, hey, man, do you love gay people? I'm like, sure. And they're like, do you love chicken? I'll be like, yeah. And which do you have to side with? I'm like, how hungry am I? Right? Like.
Well.
Yep, that's exactly what they told us when...
If I'm on a full belly, I'd be like, dude, gay people deserve rights. But if I'm like super hungry, I'll be like, I don't know, man.
Well,
San Francisco, what more do you need? You know what I mean?
I'll tell you, I went to Chick-fil-A with a lesbian friend of mine, and she's like, I don't give a shit.
Really?
100% hand to God.
Yeah.
Lesbian, lives with a woman, is like, you know what? Chick-fil-A is too damn good. I don't give a shit.
Yeah.
So there you go.
There you go.
Please do not use gendered language.
We got you.
So this is our last time in this Studio Jeans.
It is, and it was.
Wow.
Look, it was a fucking crazy run here.
It's been a wild ride. We've seen a pandemic. You broke half your body. I broke my ankle.
We had a child.
We had a child in this very studio. We were going to go to the hospital, and I said, no, drive me to Studio Jeans. And I gave birth on that couch. So that little jeans, tiny jeans came into this world covered in denim.
It's fucking morning.
Morning.
And that's when he was born.
We met Danny Brown here.
Yeah.
Brendan.
He jacked off in 4 strokes.
Not Danny, but I'm just saying.
So much has happened.
Wild to king.
That happened here, where we actually found out who RPC was.
That's right.
We made the call from this very chair.
That was one of
check it out.
the greatest moments in YMH history is when we found that guy.
Yeah.
Man, that was so happy. And we watched Uncle Terry in this studio
Absolutely.
as well.
If you get a cough, please leave it alone.
The most brilliant president ever happened during our time here.
Best ever.
Hello, this is Captain Marcel.
Oh, Captain Marcel.
So many great memories here.
TikTok started here.
We haven't talked about what we're going to do with the actual set. What do we do with this?
With this set?
Yeah, with the set.
I mean, that's a good question. What do you want to do?
I don't want to do anything, but I'm saying.
All right, so don't worry about it.
Well, what do you mean? Like, what are we going to actually do with it? They're going to tell us, like, hey, get this shit out of here.
Yeah, and we'll just be like, yeah, and then we'll just kind of tear it up and then just chuck it in the dumpster.
Oh no!
This is pretty elaborate, man.
Don't do that.
Well, I mean,
we're going to take some of the lighting rigs, right?
And what about the art?
No, yeah, we'll take the art for sure.
Not the lighting?
Maybe if we want.
What would you do with the lighting?
I don't know, but we got lighting guys in Austin that are already figuring everything out.
Damn.
Wow.
All right.
Was there anything you want to keep, Tommy?
Well, just the memories.
It's just like the gays.
Oh, it's just like the gays.
You know how they are.
Well, all this crap comes with us. Anything that moves comes with us.
Yeah.
Her Joel Osteen inspirational cubes.
Oh my God, amazing. Yeah, so many things. Yeah.
It's kind of sad.
First heavy segment ever?
Our first heavy segment was.
Oh, I'm about to throw up.
That was here.
Tina made her debut on the live show here. That was super fun for me to do Tina.
I turn it to a telescope.
I do whenever I see Tina.
I mean, so many. What a great era. This show has had so many eras, so many different incarnations and times and markers in our lives. And this was a really unique era. I think we saw a lot collectively as a country, as a world.
Everything changed here.
Everything changed.
The fact that we kept doing the show during what was it once just like the terrifying pandemic.
Yeah.
That happened here.
Yeah.
Didn't we meet Zolo here too?
Yes.
Yeah, Zolo started
here.
I am a fucking jewel.
Met him.
Annie.
Wish I had a good. Well, yeah.
No, sweating like a black man.
Met him here.
Larson.
Chris Larson.
That's my whole.
Before.
Yep. Doing his awesome fucking Instagram videos
Oh, he's
now.
killing it. Hey, how are those beehole pics,
Getting
bro?
butthole pics. Saw a tit pic.
Dude, big tits.
Yeah, they're coming in.
How about clit pics? Those come in yet?
Haven't seen any, but I'm sure they're coming.
Yeah.
That's where it spits.
Yeah.
Do you get sent clit pics, Tom?
No one's cool to me.
This is not an invitation to send them. Please don't.
Don't send me clit pics. I don't, but do send them to Chris Larson.
Send everything to Chris Larson.
And Chris will reply.
It's not going to get hard till I'm ready to come.
Yeah. Yep.
Chris deserves those pics.
I feel so special.
Yeah. All right. Well, you ready? Let's
This
open the
is
show.
it.
The grand finale
my God.
of the podcast at the San Fernando Valley Studios.
Next stop, Austin, Tejas.
Here we go.
Hey, TikTok. Roger Watson Arthur here. I want to try a new trend. When you see a cop coming at you, throw a number 1 out your window. Just hang your arm out the window, throw a number 1 up. Let them know we're backing them up. Cops, when you get this, if you see somebody throw a number 1 out their window, hit your blue lights. Let us know that you recognize good citizens when we were saying we're supporting y'all. Let's stick together. Good people sticking up for good people. Number 1.
This shit is big time.
Who is Randy?
Don't bring anyone mother into this.
Yo, mom in the fucking stand.
Welcome to your mom's house with Tom Segura. And
Christina Pajitsin.
welcome to your mom's house.
You like it?
Mm-hmm.
You know, I couldn't help think of when I saw this clip.
That he's sponsored by Chick-fil-A too.
I immediately thought of.
I'm looking for girls for pussy.
But he's not. He's just throw one up there. throw one up there and hit it with the lights. Hit me with your.
Hit your blue lights.
Do you really think the police have time to?
Did that guy throw up a fucking index finger up?
Yeah. What?
Yeah.
Oh, we're supposed to put on our blue lights.
Let them know we backing them up.
Yeah, like no one.
Okay, man.
I would not do this to a cop. They're gonna be like, "What are you doing?"
They'll fucking put their blue lights on and be like, the fuck did you just do to me?
Yeah, you flipped me off.
What was that?
Yeah.
No, I was saying you're number one. Yeah, fuck you, man. Yeah.
Yeah. You can't just make up a sign that everyone else isn't aware of.
Try a new trend.
Like
throw a number one up.
What about instead of one, like a thumbs up? Everybody universally accepts thumbs up as like, you're doing good.
Yeah.
You're doing a good job.
Hey, you should try it. See how it goes. Start giving cops the thumbs up and just see what happens.
I do sometimes.
Yeah?
I'll be like, good job, buddies. Go get them. Go get the bad guys. When I see them going, whoop, whoop.
That's when you give them a thumbs up?
Getting gangbangers and shit.
Gangbangers?
I don't know. I'm just kidding.
Okay.
No, I do like, you know what I used to love, though, is seeing LAPD. Like when LAPD does fucking zoom down the street together, I'll be like, go get them, boys. Like I do like when I see LAPD fucking getting fired up and getting them. You know, like.
Yeah. Sounds like you're on this trend.
I'm down.
All right.
Protect and serve, motherfucker. Shit. You know what's so funny, dude? I don't know if your dad did this, but my dad had a police scanner in the valley.
My dad did not, no.
Oh, did your dad do that too? Oh, it's so fucking immigrant, huh? And my dad would listen to the fucking police scanner in the valley. We lived in like Canoga Park. And he'd be like, code 4, that's a code 710 Henry. And like he would just sit and like listen to the codes and like figure out.
Sounds like some real fucking schizo shit to do. 127 counting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what he did. But it's kind of fun because like.
We got a possible white male. 135 pounds.
He loved it. I'd be like, okay, this guy is right here. He's behind Pierce College. The guy with a gun right now. Listen. I'd be like, no way, dude. Like, it was kind of fun.
You sit in your chair and you're just like.
breaker.
Go get him, boys.
Go get him. Go get him, boys. Go get him, LAPD.
Put the finger up and you put the blue lights on. Know that you got me. Yeah. What's going on with all his face?
So much face meat.
There's so much face meat.
So much Chick-fil-A in that face meat beard.
I mean, I don't even know where the face ends and the neck
no,
and shoulders
so
start.
Fat. He's so overweight.
You think so?
I'm sorry.
Jesus.
He's so Bert.
Yeah. And we were just talking about people being mean to us. And look what you just did.
I know. Shit.
Yeah.
Such an asshole.
It's human nature. We can't help it. We can't help it.
We're all just so critical
of
each
we
other.
just are. We just are.
I'm
now,
such
to be
a
fair,
bad person.
He's not like 10 pounds overweight.
He's a lot of pounds overweight.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You need to worry about more than that finger getting up. You need to stand up, kind of move around a little more, you know?
I thought we weren't going to be mean. What happened?
I'm saying for this guy's well-being. It's not even like a...
he needs to dial it back.
Yeah, I'm not talking about vanity. I'm just saying like,
I know. Man. It's not healthy. It's not a good thing. It's not a good thing.
I support you.
I support you.
Throw them lights on for me.
BTW, it's the month of October.
Yeah.
Momtober. And I love hollow jeans. Our house is already decorated.
Do you ever?
Now, let me tell you something. I was in the Hobby Lobby in August looking for Halloween decorations. You know what they said to me? Because I couldn't find them. They go, ma'am, we don't have Halloween decorations because the Hobby Lobby is a Christian organization and they believe Halloween is satanic.
How about that? I
swear. I had no idea Hobby Lobby was against Halloween.
You're talking about shit like just like bats, you know, fucking Dracula. And they're like, nope.
Yeah.
JC don't like that, so we don't put it in.
Yeah, dude. I was
All
like,
right.
no way, I'm in the South, bro.
Yeah.
So I was like, well, where can I get all my Halloween wares? And they're like, well, Spirit Store. So, I went to the Spirit Store. $800 later.
Hobby Lobby's Christian?
Yeah, bro. Hardcore. So they have lots.
Really?
I didn't know that.
Yeah, like I think during the elections and stuff, like they went out and they're like, yeah, we don't like this gay marriage stuff either.
Wow.
Yeah,
you don't remember that?
No.
Do you remember that?
Zero
Chris? That
recollection.
happened, right?
Yeah, they got a lot of flack because they wanted an exemption for birth control under the Obamacare stuff. And that's why they got really, really famous.
Wow, I didn't know. Hey, I just like crafts and sparkly shit. and decorations for my house. And I got a
Christian crafts.
Christian crafts. I got a lot of Christmas stuff because we do believe in Jesus. High five on Jesus. Sorry.
Yeah.
Pounded, I mean. And Thanksgiving.
How about you, Patty O'Callahan? You ready for your Texas move?
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Get it in the spirit.
That's his new name there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you're definitely Irish from now on.
Oh, yeah.
No, yeah, I will not be frequenting Jew boys.
When somebody pops in and they look back and they'll be like, yeah, is everything going good? I'll be like, yeah, everything's good. And then they'll go look back and they're like, I'll go, oh, Irish. And they'll be like, okay. Well, we'll see you. You mean Patty? I'm like, oh, okay. From here, I couldn't tell. I'm like, yeah, no. He just got here, Dublin. You know how it is. All right, because I ain't got my glasses on.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
yeah. What you gonna dress up as for Halloweens?
I think just like a slutty Catholic or something.
Ooh, good idea.
Maybe you play a double move and dress up like a rabbi, and you're like, ha ha, look at these fucking guys, huh? And then they'll be like, what? You'll be like, I'm just, you know what I mean?
Yeah, get it, guys? Because like they look funny and they got the hair.
Yeah, until one of those.
Yeah.
And
I'm
then
making fun of them.
Exactly. And then they're like, he's a Jew. Like one of those. You know?
Yeah.
And then we'll be like, yeah. And then we'll just, that way you'll see who's really like on board and who isn't. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah. I'll just be like, yeah, I'm pretending to be a J.
And then as they, you go, hey, Patty O'Callahan. And they're like, oh, hey, how you doing, Patty? This is a hell of an outfit. I ain't never seen one in person before. You know?
Be like, yeah, I Googled this. Apparently they wear this once a week or something.
They don't even fucking get in cars on Saturdays? Like,
yeah, they throw
what?
rocks at you if you do in some neighborhoods, I heard.
Yeah. It's going to be a good one. Oh, YMH original. Now.
Yeah.
Man. Yeah, so many great memories here. Really are some good ones.
This was a good run. This was a good era for us.
Before I forget, you asked me to pull this up during the show.
Oh my fucking God. Okay.
So a month or so ago, I don't know, 2 months ago, I did Mohegan Sun Arena in Connecticut. And it was really fun. Fucking amazing night. And they had me do this like promo pic backstage, in the tunnels there.
Yes, and so you were on the road. And, you texted that photo to me, and I thought, oh, my goodness, what a big day. This is Tommy's first arena that he sold out. What a wonderful thing to celebrate. And, the kids and I baked you a cake to celebrate this wonderful achievement. And then I took a closer look at the photo at your face. Go ahead and zoom in on that. Is that the look of a man who's worked for, 20 years hard at his career, foregoing having children and putting off getting a house and everything just to live his dream, and he finally succeeds? Hey, Tom, you sold out an arena. Hey, Tom, I have a video of a guy falling off a roof and his knees buckled into his head. There you go. Yeah. So tell me, walk me through this expression, because I'm trying to figure out.
Dude, the real truth,
Yeah.
I was very excited. I was very excited that whole day I really was. This is one of fucking four, like they had me take pictures with the guy that books the place, the Live Nation guy. They brought in Andrew, the agent. They brought it was like, then they're like, now do it alone, So
you're like, okay, enough my joy about the Mohegan Sun.
And then, they're like, sign these things. Like, it was just like a bunch of PR stuff. And that was probably the last picture where I was like,
yeah.
But I was excited. I really was.
Agent Jeans and I were both thrilled for you.
Yeah,
everybody's thrilled, and we were laughing at you because this is, it's
he teases me about it now too.
Yeah,
that.
he should.
Yeah,
because he knows you now.
He's like, hey Tom, you sold this many tickets.
Yeah,
and he's like, excited.
Yeah,
like, yeah. He goes, could you fucking show it a little bit?
I know. No, because literally, Agent Jeans, you're coming everywhere tour.
Yeah.
And he'll call you and be like, we sold out this, we're adding another arena, and you're like, okay, click. And I'll be like, well, what did he say? He's like, I added another arena in this town. And I'm like, nothing, no joy. No, it's a major accomplishment. The odds of you selling out arenas and making it as a stand-up comedian, the odds are just so against you, and you did it.
It's pretty crazy.
You should be doing cartwheels in every fucking
photo.
It's like, crazy. Well, I'm so proud of you, and
Well,
but you have a narrow emotional bandwidth,
That's
right?
true.
Is that what your shrink calls it?
Yes.
You operate within a narrow emotional
band. That's the exact term.
So you don't get too excited or too depressed.
But it has changed. Honestly, it has changed since I've been injured.
Tell me more.
I get more emotional. I get more excited. I get more down. I feel more.
Yeah.
I shouldn't say I feel more. I allow myself to feel more.
Right.
And I think it's directly correlated to being traumatically injured.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah.
Trauma and torture and suffering purifies your soul.
Totally.
And makes you a better human being.
Yeah.
I mean, I think there's a reason, like, now that we have children, like, hasn't that made you loving, like, sweeter to people too, and have more empathy? And everybody is somebody's kid in my mind.
Well, yeah, and also the experience of, like, interacting with your kids can, it can change a whole day, like a moment with your kids can.
Oh, yeah.
So it totally opens you up.
Yeah.
Yeah. They're amazing. Children are amazing.
I know. But anything that makes you suffer, I think, makes you a better person.
That's true. The suffering is what kind of leads you there. This episode of Your Mom's House is brought to you by Quip. I don't feel like the dental cleaning process is done unless there's mouthwash involved. When you use when you use it, I mean, if you're going to go out on a date, if you have a big interview, just to get your day started, if you're going to interact with other human beings, mouthwash should be a part of it. You guys know Quip, the makers of the electric toothbrush and floss you hear us talk about all the time. Well, they've launched a new mouthwash to help you complete your clean process. Plus, it comes with a refillable dispenser that's delightful to use and sleek enough to fit on any bathroom counter. Quip mouthwash kills bad breath germs, helps prevent cavities, and leaves you feeling fresh thanks to a formula that gives your mouth everything it needs and nothing it doesn't. Their 4 times concentrate has fluoride, xylitol, and CPC, but they left out the artificial flavors and stinging alcohol you'll find in a lot of other rinses. If you go to getquip.com/mom5 right now, you get $5 off a mouthwash starter kit. That's $5 off a mouthwash starter kit, which includes a refillable dispenser and a 90-dose supply of Quip's 4-time concentrated formula at getquip.com/mom5. Spelled GETQUIP.com/mom5. Quip, the good habits company.
Guess what? Guess what we're waiting on right now? DoorDash. That's what's up. I love DoorDash. I use it, I don't know, every other day to get food delivered wherever. It's the best thing in the world. Why not? Why not eat what you want to eat? I love it late night when I'm not just driving anywhere. It's so convenient to just place my order and get it delivered right away. Get what you want to eat right now and right to your door with DoorDash. Along with the restaurants you love, you can now get groceries and other essential items delivered with DoorDash. Get your drinks, your snacks, your other household items in under an hour. Late night ice cream, you got it. You know what I love? I love Chinese food. I love my P.F. Chang's, and I get it with DoorDash. For a limited time, my listeners can get 25% off and 0 delivery fees on their first order of $15 or more when you download the DoorDash app and enter code YMH. That's 25% off, up to a $10 value, and 0 delivery fees on your first order when you download the DoorDash app in the App Store and enter code YMH. Don't forget, that's code YMH for 25% off your first order with DoorDash. Subject to change. Terms apply.
Another huge thing that it's not going to end because we're moving to Texas, but it's always been a regular practice of this show to find some way to make fun of my best friend, Bert
Kreischer.
And there is no end to the amount of people that can't say his name.
It's
Did you know
weird.
that?
I do know that.
I mean, it is.
It's a great app. Get your tickets that way. Bert Kreischer is an American stand-up comedian, actor, writer, host. He's just amazing. It's going to be an incredible time. Grab your tickets and see Bert. Did I call him Brett? God damn it. With Mark Norman on September 8th. That's Bert Kreischer and Mark Norman.
I mean, it's not a hard name. I don't think
not
it's
that hard.
difficult.
It's not that hard.
Dubs with the $3. Doc, why does Courage sound so much like Bert Kreischer? I don't know who that is. Is he a motorcyclist?
Who's this guy? I like
That's
this.
a big Twitch guy.
Oh, it looks funny. Looks
Yeah.
entertaining.
Whatever ended up happening to, like, remember he got, like, arrested or, like, they broke into his fucking house?
What?
And
He's been swatted before.
But that one was like he stopped. Oh, Twitch took down his channel though.
I think he went out. Yeah. Is he back, Chris? Yeah, I mean, he is back with this.
No, I mean, he's still banned from Twitch. He's just on different platforms.
What was the? Anyone ever find out the story?
Not yet.
Not yet?
He's hinted that he knows why, but he hasn't explained explicitly like why he got banned.
And what's the theory?
Probably some of the bits he's done in the past. I know he one point took a camera crew into the bathrooms at a convention. He got a lot of flack for that, and he immediately got kicked off Twitch for that one.
Gotcha.
For privacy reasons and also obvious reasons.
Okay.
You guys, I was suggested a Tom Segura and Bert Kreischer, I'm not sure how you say his last name.
I mean,
it's like your last name should be more botched.
For sure.
And it's like it is.
It's
but,
understandably botched. It's
the best one. This is my favorite one. So Bert just did season 2 of Go Big Show. This season, Snoop Dogg was replaced by T-Pain. T-Pain actually like befriended Bert. Like they hung out and like they taped. I don't know a whole season of shows. They spent like a month together in Macon, Georgia. Okay.
What's got me away from home? I'm filming the Go Big Show. Go to my Instagram, and you can see that I'm filming a new show for TBS.
Yes, with Bert.
Well, we actually can leave once. We actually had a show. We had a show booked already.
How you say Bert's last name?
Kreischer. Kreischer.
Yeah.
Bert no shirt. Chrysler.
Chrysler.
Yes, absolutely. He has not been wearing shirts around the whole thing.
Oh, that's new.
Until we start filming, and
I'm surprised they got.
It's a lot of no shirts. A lot of no shirts.
Well, he definitely knows Bert.
He knows him. Yeah, he knows him. Yeah.
But Kreischer. I mean, I don't know. I never.
Kreischer.
Kreischer.
Bert no shirt. Chrysler.
Yeah. I mean, we're up to like fucking 25 flubs of his name now.
It's amazing.
You know what I think it is?
What?
Is that because we put so much mispronunciations of his name
out there
that people look it up and like they just stumble on the wrong one, so that gets like starting like baked into people's heads. That's my theory.
Man, fucking awesome.
It is fucking great. I hope it continues forever.
Yeah.
Bert Krishna. Bert Krishna is the best.
Bert Krishna's great. Yeah.
Stupid.
God, you have your you've been talking about because you're gonna shoot a special at some point, and I'm still encouraging Touch My Camera Through the Fence. I think it's a perfect name for a special. But you really want to go with My Struggle?
I'm not so sure. The feedback wasn't very positive.
It wasn't
online. I just it was on it. Oh, I don't know what that's all about. But they spelled my last name correctly, which is nice to see. My Struggle.
They got your lipstick right.
They did. They got everything right.
Okay.
And I like that it's so feminine. They jazzed it up.
They did.
Studio jeans.
Yeah.
Hilarious. But I'm toying with some other titles. Yeah. We'll see. Touch My Camera Through the Fence.
That's the best title.
I know. People are like, what's this show?
If I'm scrolling through Netflix and it says Touch My Camera Through the Fence, I'll be like, what the fuck is this?
I know.
It's a stand-up special?
I know.
And then like it has you and then there's a finger going through the fence. The artwork just fucking, it makes itself.
What about Four Strokes?
Poof.
People think it's a golfing thing.
I don't think it's golfing.
It's golfing. No, just hear me out.
Are you laying there with your legs open?
4 strokes, and then it's me as a golfer, and I'm like, hey, I'm a golfer. No? I'm just saying, Kevin, it needs to have a good double meaning, a double meaning to be a good title, right?
Okay.
All right. Well, I've already pitched FGT RTD to Netflix. I'm waiting to hear back. So far, it's been in a long back and forth with corporate on that one.
You can't say for girls. I mean, it's perfect. You're
I know.
a mother. You're a woman.
I know. I'm a wife who rides till death, but
4 girls that ride till death.
I don't know. They're being stingy, Mark.
What
how about
that?
How about don't be stingy, Mark?
Oh yeah.
Don't be stingy.
God, that would be a good one. Oh man.
Well,
that happened here, Leo.
Oh my goodness, Leo. We discovered
that was the
him.
fucking.
Come on, Mark. Don't be stingy.
Gosh.
Yeah.
Suck it dry.
Suck it dry.
Yeah.
And
well, it's normal size.
No, it's not. It's not.
Yeah. And Ed Asner's no longer with us, which we never addressed. But
I know.
How big a load I'm going to swallow.
Everybody was so stoked that was his legacy.
Let me see all that gum.
Yeah.
I think that's what people remember most. It's the sex video with Mark.
Okay, you come.
Yeah. When he died, I just immediately I closed my eyes and I could just hear him.
So gross. Goodness gracious.
God.
He really comes hard.
He does. It's been a long time. It's been a long time.
It's not gonna last very long.
Show me that you like me.
Oh.
Don't be stingy.
Okay, I got it. I'm done. I could see you doing this kind of thing and saying all that stuff.
You could?
Yeah.
On a video like that?
Uh-huh.
Why?
When I'm dead and you find some girl and you're like, you come over.
And I'm like, show me that you like me.
Yeah.
Come on.
Oh, stop.
The way that I'm built is sit back that you can't see it so much.
Because you are turning into such a dad now. Like we were on the airplane.
Well, if you like me, how come you kept sending pictures to Chris Larson so much, huh? Like that. What happened on the
Like
plane?
you do stuff now. Like we were on the airplane a while ago and you were like, we were landing and you're like, go ahead, lift up the thing so I can see where we are. Like you had to know where we were, Dad. And then like Storm Dad, you love storms.
I do love storms.
And now I have to be like, Storm Dad, there's something. And then you come running out. You get so excited to see that lightning and hear that thunder.
That's my dad boner moment.
Yeah.
There's a car wash dad boner. You want to see him?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, this is awesome.
It is our exciting.
Oh, man.
Yeah. I love a car wash too.
Yes. Look at that. Oh, yeah.
Hell yeah, dude.
Woo!
Car washes are exciting, but
They
the problem
are.
is I have too nice of cars to take him to a car wash.
Oh my God.
So if I had like a more
Babe.
modest car, I would go to a
Babe.
car wash. Yeah. You don't take the stuff I drive to a car wash.
Okie doke.
So
I like the multicolored one when they do the rainbow soap. It's really cool. I mean, who are you? with
what?
this?
What?
God, babe.
Hand wash only. Are you out of your fucking mind?
I'm so embarrassed right now.
You saw the fucking Mohegan Sun Arena.
Oh my
So-
God, babe. Babe.
You think I drive a fucking Corolla? Now,
So elitist.
yeah. This is pretty exciting. Horrible Hilarious was born here.
Yes.
And I have been so excited to show Native this one. Please put the
Look at
camera
his
on Native.
face.
Please cue him up. And
But preface why you're so excited. Like why?
because there's just certain types of Horrible Hilarious that I always think in a dog.
But then this one particularly affects him because this is how he injured himself.
Well,
and tore
yeah.
his
And I'm not
ACL.
necessarily saying this guy tears his ACL. But I'm just saying.
Just saying he's hurt real bad after.
Maybe. I don't know.
Who knows? Maybe it's funny. Yeah, who knows?
It might be, you might say, actually, it's hilarious.
You might love this, yeah.
I have a hard time believing that.
It's pretty funny.
To you.
Well,
I'm sure.
I think in a moment you're going to say it's hilarious to you too.
Oh,
Okay?
boy, oh,
All
boy.
right, let's
Please just eyes on the screen
Okie doke.
and let's see how you feel.
3, 2, 1. Oh, come on. Yeah.
You said this wasn't an ACL accident.
I don't think, is it?
Yeah.
How can you tell?
His knee's bending the wrong way. What part did you think he hurt?
I thought it was just that he fell and he didn't know how to jump.
Wait, what? Tell me what, because what happened? I know he went down and
then
what happened?
What happened?
His knee gave way.
He didn't bend at all.
No,
He
yeah.
he kept his legs completely straight.
Yeah, he kind of rain booted this one.
Yeah, he sure did. But guess what?
He's okay?
He's fine. Yeah. I checked. We called the trampoline place and they said he's fine.
This is exactly how I hurt myself.
Really?
Yeah.
Exactly?
Like, yeah, jumping from a high place to a low place and trying to, just doing stuff out of your skill level on a trampoline. That's exactly what this dad was doing.
Did you jump off of a platform like that too?
The one that I did was it's like flat trampolines in the middle and then angled trampolines like this on the side. So I try to jump from flat to side.
But didn't your crazy ass tell me that you just walked on it and didn't do anything for a while?
For a full year and a half, yeah. Because I had just gotten a job, and I'm like, I'm not taking fucking days off right when I start a
I
job.
like your attitude, though. You're right.
Yeah, I do like that.
No, yeah, and then eventually it was like my knee would lock, and I'd have to roll around on the floor to unlock it. And they're like, what are you doing? I'm like, this just happens to my knee sometimes. I'm like, are you going to the doctor? And I'm like, for what? And they're like, to fix this shouldn't happen. And yeah, that's when my eyes opened. I was like, oh yeah, I should get this checked out.
And then you had an MRI?
Yeah, I had an MRI.
And they're like, you have a torn ACL.
They're like, we're pretty sure your ACL is torn. Good chance that it's just your meniscus. And then, so they scraped out my meniscus in a surgery. And then they're like, all right, stand on it. How do you feel? And I'm like, feels a little unstable. I'm like, yeah, your ACL's torn. And then I had to go do another surgery.
And you think he's got a knee injury for sure?
He absolutely fucked up his knee. Like his knee will not be the same.
One or both?
No. One of them.
Let's rewind. See, there's a little bit of bend there. And right here, he should be, his ass should be going lower. And, oh, God. Oh, my God.
Oh, I see. He twisted. He landed on it. He probably maybe he broke his ankle.
I think he just tore every ligament that he has in his knee. God. Well.
Oh, shit.
It's good that he's okay. So.
You just can't do this stuff when you're old. You just can't. You can't.
God. And they counted. They're like, you ready to do it? And he's like, I really don't want to.
You can't do this shit.
Well, yeah. I mean, I tore myself when I was like 21, 22.
Oh, wow.
You could hurt yourself at any age.
Any age, yeah.
You know, the other day I was with our kids at a trampoline place in the mall, and I was like standing there in the bounce house, and they're like, come on, Mom, do it. And I was like, yeah, why not? And then I have a fucking I can't do that. Like, I stopped myself. I forgot. I'm like, oh, yeah, I can't do this shit. I probably never.
I forget. Like, I'll forget how damaged mine is, and then it'll just be something simple where I'll be like, just hop up a couple stairs. I'll be like, oh, this leg's not even stable yet. Like my left leg, you know?
Oh, yeah.
Because my quad's not back yet. Like, it's still on its way. And I'll be like, oh, yeah, I can't even fucking do this. This is crazy.
Yeah, you like take a misstep and you're like, whoa, that was a close call. I could have
Or
tore everything.
sometimes, like, this happened too before injury. Like, you know, sometimes your leg will just go like, you know, like your knee. But now it'll be like a full of like, oh, my God. It's just kind of, it's had enough for the day. And it's like, hey, man, it's enough.
Fuck, dude. Like, why isn't your quad recovered? Is it because the nerves haven't come back fully?
No, it's just that muscle atrophy, you know, it takes a while.
Still getting it back.
It's a huge four muscles coming together.
Yeah. Fuck,
you know,
dude.
you compare the two, it's like, it's night and day.
Yeah.
But it has been growing.
Yeah.
It takes a while. They said it takes a full year. I think it's going to be longer.
Yeah, for sure.
Mm-hmm.
You're very meaty.
But the day that it goes back, I'm going to a fucking trampoline place.
I'm going to get faded. Get
That's
drunk.
a big mistake.
Get
You
drunk
think so?
first.
I know so.
Trampolines are so fucking dangerous.
Yeah.
It's the worst.
I have PTSD, and just watching people jump, not even on a trampoline. It's like I have to look away. I just imagine their knees going the wrong way every time.
Yeah, this guy.
Dude, how many people fuck themselves up on trampolines every year? It's got to be. Let's Google it up. Yeah, it's just got to be. It's got to be ridiculous. Those and those fucking little motorized bird scooters that are everywhere.
Those are insane.
I mean,
those are amazing that those are not
stupid.
banned yet.
Oh, they will be. Some kid's gonna die on. They're gonna sue. Oh, between 100,000 and 200,000 ACL ruptures
a
per
year. That's just that's an overall. That's not just trampolines.
No, but that is just in the U.S.
Yeah, that is insane.
That's
That's so many.
ACLs. But how many trampoline injuries per year? Let's see that. How many people hurt themselves on trampolines? It's just got to be. This is stupid. I mean, it's so fucking dangerous. 100,000 injuries every year.
Between 2002 and 2011, more than 1 million people landed in emergency rooms with injuries related to trampoline use. Almost 300,000 of the injuries include broken bones.
At least.
And there's 7 terrifying statistics about trampoline safety. Let's hit that real quick.
Fuck.
Right there, yeah.
Dude, fuck a trampoline. We're never getting one of these for our kids. Never.
Can you make that bigger?
100,000,
Children
yeah.
under 16 suffer nearly 93% of fractures related to trampolines. Oh my God. 3/4 of trampoline injuries happen to, as what? 3/4 of trampoline injuries happen as more than one person jumps. Oh, okay.
So there's
the big
two of
double
them.
jump.
Yeah.
That's what, because one guy will go down and it'll launch you even faster. Yeah.
Approximately 15% of
Shit.
injuries on trampolines happen to children under 6.
Oh no. Forget
One
about
in 200
it.
injuries lead to permanent neurological damage.
Oh, Jesus.
Fuck. Well, yep.
Oh, forget about it. Shit ain't gonna happen.
Among trampoline injuries treated in emergency rooms, 4% result in a hospital stay.
Jesus.
My goodness.
Fuck a trampoline, dude. We're
Wow.
not getting that in our house.
That is...
no way, Jose. No thanks, Tom Hanks.
There you go.
No thanks.
That's
Okay.
a lot. Okay. Well, we're going to take a quick break, and we'll be back with our guest in just a moment.
I love Brooklinen. I sleep on their sheets, and now I wear the loungewear. It is like wearing a duvet cover around the house, except it doesn't look like a duvet cover. It's very stylish. I love their lounge pants. That's the one I wear. It feels so comfortable, and they just look the coolest. Brooklinen has been listening to what we all need most, and they responded with ultra comfy loungewear at a fair price. This loungewear has classic cuts and that's true, there's no zippers for limitless comfort that you can pull off in real life, so you can luxuriate in coziness all day. Bonus points, Brooklinen offers bundle deals on loungewear so you can get more comfort for less money. So go on, get comfortable and get it for less at Brooklinen. Go to brooklinen.com and use promo code HOUSE to get $20 off with a minimum purchase of $100. That's BROOKLINEN.com and use promo code HOUSE for $20 off with a minimum purchase of $100. That's brooklinen.com, promo code HOUSE.
Today's episode is brought to you by Whoop, the personalized digital fitness and health coach. You guys see, I have it on. I'm so happy to have my Whoop on. You monitor your recovery, your sleep, your training, your health with personalized recommendations, coaching feedback with Whoop. It's incredible what this thing does. It is like a stock portfolio, and your body is everything that's being held. You are the stocks and bonds and mutual funds, and this thing is telling you exactly what's happening in real time. I love that you can input how your day may have affected you with stress. Maybe you had a couple drinks. Maybe you didn't sleep that much. And it's keeping up, telling you it's time to get some rest. It's time to push yourself harder. Now they have the all-new 4.0, which is smaller, smarter, and designed with new biometric tracking, including skin temperature, blood oxygen, and more. Such a big fan of this company. The all-new waterproof device is free when you sign up for a Whoop 4.0 membership. For any members, if you have 6 months left of membership on your account, you can upgrade now and get the 4.0 for free. Right now, Whoop is offering 15% off when you use the code MOM at checkout. Go to Whoop, WHOOP.com, enter MOM at checkout, and save 15%. We are super excited, and I haven't been doing anything creepy online, so it's fine that he's here to have the great...
As far as you know.
As far as I know, yes. Noted journalist Chris Hansen. Thank you very much for stopping
Thank you
here.
guys for having me. I appreciate
This
it.
is a treat, man. You've done a lot in your career, but as we were briefly discussing, nothing is as exciting to people as watching a chomo get caught, and you are their worst nightmare. When they see you, it's like, oh, fuck. Like when you go, just have a seat for me right there.
So there was a case just a couple weeks ago down south, and a guy got caught by the police. It wasn't one of our stings.
Yeah.
And he was upset he got caught, understood that he was, committing a crime, but was relieved because it was just the police
and not
me. And he says it's in the transcripts of the
public
the police report.
Yeah. Oh my God.
Yeah.
I can imagine that, of course, committing a crime and getting caught is terrible, right? When the police, but it's probably when you're like, oh, this can be broadcast on television
all over the world.
Yeah.
And then rebroadcast on social media,
I
and
love it.
YouTube, and everything else.
So because it really caught fire, the idea. You pitched it originally as a segment, just like a one-off?
Well, originally, I became aware of Perverted Justice, which was the online watchdog group. They had a website, and they would have their decoys go in and just exist in a chat room. And if they were hit upon by an adult and the conversation grew graphic, sexually, they would post that person's ID on their website, and people could go to Perverted Justice and see it. And I thought, boy, if we could use their ability to be decoys online and combine it with our ability to wire a house with hidden cameras and microphones, it could be pretty compelling. And so we did it in Long Island, Bethpage, Long Island. And I was driving out there, and I got caught in traffic on the Throgs Neck Bridge. And I thought, oh, God, what happens if nobody shows up? And I just wasted tens of thousands of dollars of the network's money. And with that, my producer calls and said, where the hell are you? I've got 2 guys who are about to knock on the door in 45 minutes. So traffic clears, I haul ass over there, and we get into position, and, we had security there. But in those first couple investigations, we didn't have law enforcement doing a parallel investigation.
Mm-hmm.
So the first guy shows up, and I'm just trying to keep my heart in my chest. I've confronted a lot of bad people over the years, but this is close quarters.
Yeah.
I've got Ronnie Knight's there, my security guy, and we've gone through it all, and there's a protocol. But the guy's right there. He's in the kitchen.
Yeah.
With me.
Ugh.
And I'm trying to concentrate and have the transcripts, and so we get to the first guy. And
did he bring his wine coolers? 6-pack of wine
there
coolers?
There weren't a lot of things brought in the first couple guys. They ultimately did, and the decoys would ask for that because it shows intent.
Right.
And the police use that in their cases. But, the first couple guys came through and got to the third guy, and I grabbed the wrong transcripts from the dining room table. And I said, it says here you want to do this, that, and the other thing with a 13-year-old named Beth. No, that's not me. Excuse me. Went back, got another transcript. Second transcript was wrong. Finally, I got to the third stack of chats, and I had the right one. He goes, okay, great, we can continue now.
It's like, I'm that person.
Yeah.
That's not the first 2
That is me.
That's me, yeah. And
did this, because, obviously, you're a journalist, and you've investigated and read about and are aware of, obviously there's a lot of bad people in the world. But did it totally open your eyes to a lane? You're like, oh, wow, I didn't realize it was like this?
Absolutely. And again, we merely used chat rooms from AOL and Yahoo 17 years ago when we started this. So today, I can't keep up with the number of social media platforms upon which a predator can approach a child. In your daily course of, dealing with the internet, people are on TikTok, they're doing Snapchat, they're, the dating apps, of course.
Oh my gosh.
You.
So the creepers have found an infinite number of ways to creep out.
Absolutely.
How do you keep up with
Well,
it?
I think it comes down to, you get into this discussion about, okay, you talk about the drug problem. Society is now coming to grips with the fact that it's an addiction and there's a treatment for it. And so there's a combination of criminal justice and treatment. But we don't have an effective demand reduction theory, policy in place for child predators. Because it's not one type of guy.
That's what I was going to ask you,
Yeah.
is that in all the years you've been doing this, what's the common denominator? What do you see?
The common denominator is they don't stand out of a crowd. It could be the guy standing next to you
Right.
at the dry cleaners
Because sometimes
on a Saturday morning.
it looks like a creep. and you're
Absolutely.
like,
We've had guys
Yeah.
come in, right, with predator tattooed on their forehead.
Yeah. The baby raper stamp.
Yeah, it's Yeah. And these guys are hardcore heavy
Yeah.
hitters, and
Yeah.
they're just bad humans.
Right.
And you just know.
You sense it
at
immediately.
the rock bottom
Yeah.
of your soul that
Yeah.
this is
Yeah.
a guy that needs to go away. Yeah. But we've also had doctors
No.
and teachers. People who were at the cutting edge of cancer cures are in our backyard in Petaluma, California, on a Saturday morning trying to meet a 13-year-old girl. We had Maurice Wolin. He was the guy who I described, just committed suicide earlier this year.
Really?
Yeah.
So that's the
60,
sad
62
common
years old.
denominator
Yeah.
is that it could be anyone.
Right. Here's a guy who was highly educated, highly compensated, married to another physician, daughters, and he's in our sting on a Saturday morning, there to meet a girl.
So hold on. So he's got daughters of his own. Do we assume that he's abusing his own children?
Not
or-
necessarily. Not necessarily. I mean, that is one scenario we've seen. But in this case, these guys, and I'll say that Dr. Maurice Wolin was from that middle category, a guy who probably had fantasies he wanted fulfilled, but wouldn't be acting upon them if it wasn't for the internet, the 24-hour access, the addictive nature of it, and the anonymity that allowed him to say things that he wouldn't normally have been able to say face-to-face.
Sure.
And these guys cross this line between fantasy and reality, and the next thing you know, they're knocking at our door or creeping around our sidewalk and entering our set.
But did you, because I remember obviously the show like exploding. Was it apparent immediately that you had more than a segment in a show? Like, was the feedback so crazy when that first?
Well, here's
aired?
the interesting part of it is we did the first investigation, and we knew this was very compelling television, very important television, and it was on the shelf for several months at NBC.
Really?
And the discussion was back and forth. When do we do this? Do we time it to September? Obviously, it's important material and very compelling material. And a discussion erupted in a meeting about, how do we promote this? And I finally, out of frustration, said, you want to know how to promote this? I'll tell you how to promote it. And people are now looking, Hansen's finally lost his mind because he's going to say something outrageous here. And I said, there's a man on your back porch who wants to have sex with your daughter tonight, and I used more graphic language than that. Tonight, we're going to show you how to stop that from happening. And a few weeks later, it was on television.
Boom.
Yeah. Boom. And people got it. I mean, people knew, but it was out there. It was different. There were a lot of conversations about standards and, is this, are we doing something that pushes the envelope? It made people nervous. It made me nervous a little bit.
Sure.
This was out of my, I'd done a lot of edgy stuff. I mean, that's why they have me, is to do edgy stuff.
Right.
Right. To go to Guam and spontaneously interview a doctor who got caught up in our, child sex prostitution story in Cambodia. I get that that's my role. But this was different. This took on certainly an identity and life of its own, and to this day, 17 years later,
and it's being like a reboot. Is
well,
happening,
we
right?
we shot some new investigations in Michigan, and we put some of that on the YouTube channel. Have a Seat with Chris Hansen. We're holding the rest to go along with other investigations we have planned in a new series, and we have a series of meetings in the next few weeks, and we should determine where that's going to go.
It's exciting.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah,
Good. It's a public service. And
It
I
is.
wish there were a spin-off show to torture a predator. And I would be first in line.
That's going to be a long line.
It's funny because you bring
A lot
up
of
that it's
people.
a service, because I remember, so I worked for America's Most Wanted. That was one of my first jobs.
Sure.
And I remember when they pulled the plug on the show, and the public backlash made them bring the show back for another like 8 seasons or something. I
Well,
mean,
John Walsh, who I know
Yeah.
well because I've done some work with the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children, and I've met him several times, and I mean that really resonated with people as well.
And the thing is that, it was like yours, it's satisfying, but it also, that show in particular, if you look at the stats, it was responsible for catching a lot of fugitives. A lot.
Thousands, I would guess.
Yeah, it's almost one of those things where you go, why isn't this a state-sponsored show that never ends?
Yeah, it should be on public broadcasting or whatever. It should just be
Yeah.
a channel where you can watch these guys' faces.
And you know what's been amazing to me is how many people follow these cases. There are entire groups on social media who follow and keep track of people. We do it, in our own way. That's why we do the podcast, Predators I've Caught, because
I love it.
More kids are online more often than ever before, and that creates opportunity. So it gives us a chance to do a couple of different things. One, where are they now? There are some, and we're going to profile them, who rehabilitated themselves.
Really? Let's talk about that.
Very few.
By the way, I just had a flash because I remember watching an episode, I don't know how many years ago, where I believe a guy showed up, and I don't remember if he went to jail or whatever, but it was like the next day, somebody was like, meet me at McDonald's or something like that.
It was in our second investigation. And again, it was before law enforcement was involved. I'll tell you this right. So, guy's name is John Kennelly.
Wow. Okay. So
right? His screen name is Special Guy 29.
Okay.
Oh,
he was neither 29 nor that special. We are in Herndon, Virginia.
Yeah.
Set up in a home of a retired FBI agent who I've known for years.
Okay.
We rented the house, did the whole thing. And it was active. I mean, this is right outside of Washington, D.C. And we had a teacher, and we had a guy who was with the military. We had guys from all walks of life, and this guy who walked into the house naked. And the decoys have different profiles. So we have some that are very demure and have had no sexual contact with anybody. Then we have some who are a little more cheeky. And this person, this profile, decoy, said it'd be really hot if you came in naked. So here comes John Kennelly in his red pickup truck, walks into the garage. We had a camera set up. He starts to strip, and he strips down to his underwear. And he walks in carrying his clothes and a 12-pack of beer. Mm-hmm. And I'm in the back in the next room with Ronnie Knight looking at this in the monitor saying, leave this?
God.
And he walks out, and the producers had put a blanket, towel type thing on the top of the refrigerator. And I walked out and grabbed it, and I said, here, wrap yourself up in this. And that stool he sat on became a part of Predator history and exists today.
Really?
Yeah, a friend of mine has it.
And so you confronted him.
I did. I said, what are you doing here?
Yeah.
Because in the profile, he said first he was a teacher and then a school employee. It turned out he was a bus driver. But the fact that we thought he was a teacher, all of a sudden, and now he's naked in our kitchen.
And did he go to jail that day?
No, because we didn't have the police there. So he walks out, right? The next day, there's commotion in the room dedicated to the online decoys.
Sure.
I said, what's going on? And Frag or Dell, I forget which, said, remember the guy who came in naked yesterday? It's hard to forget.
Yeah.
I said, what about him? He said, he's back in a different chat room talking to another kid. And obviously he's not going to come back to the house. Now we've got a production problem because this house is wired. If I leave and somebody else shows up, then we have problems. But we've had, 18, 20 guys at this point show up. So I said, set up a meeting at McDonald's or a fast food restaurant. Yeah. You get online, find it. We go there, 2 crews, big cameras, shotgun mics, and we're sitting in the Suburban waiting. And here he comes, same red truck, in one side. We move in, and I'm thinking, all right, this guy's going to bolt. I better have my question ready. And I asked him when he walked out the only thing I could think of, which is, at that time, I had been in the business for 24 years. I've very seldom been at a loss for words. But I don't know what to ask you first. He said, I'm getting help. I said, I'm seeing a counselor. I said, well, John, it's not working.
Yeah.
And he faced criminal charges in that case, was caught again exposing himself to a young couple at a park. And he's, living his life and hasn't been in too much trouble.
Of a theory on, because there's actually people, think about this and discuss this when they watch a show like that, or just the conversation, the topic at hand. Do you have a theory about whether somebody like that or somebody that's pursuing that is redeemable? Like can
Can they be
I
rehabilitated?
think some are, but I think, we talked about the one category that I believe Maurice Wolnin, the doctor, fit into, was the guy who was predisposed to it but wouldn't do it without the internet.
Right.
Then I think there's another category of heavy hitters.
Yeah.
Who lock them up.
Yeah.
So those, but hold on.
They can't be fixed.
So, but when we're talking about fixing, is it that the wires are crossed? Are they just the brain is such that this is what they're into, and it's just poor impulse control? Is that?
I think in some cases, yes. And part of the problem here is that it's not a real sexy aspect of medicine and psychiatry. I mean, there are dedicated people who study this, who go into the prisons, who work this. But, I mean, if you're going to spend your time going to medical school, are you going to go do that? Or are you going to open up plastic surgery practice on Park Avenue?
Of course.
Right. I'm not dismissing either one.
Of course.
But, I mean, it's grueling, draining work that these doctors do to get inside these guys' minds. And people do it, thankfully, because it helps us to understand. And we know, and I've interviewed them, and I'm getting ready to put another therapist, psychiatrist who trains people to be therapists and psychiatrists for offenders, sex offenders like this. I'm getting ready to interview her for the podcast, my podcast. And they'll tell you a couple things. One, there's very definitely a link between the viewing of child pornography and offending. Without question.
So if you're watching it, you're likely doing it.
You're getting ready to do it.
You're getting ready, yeah.
There is a very high correlation. Two, if they've caught somebody once, they've done it before.
Yeah.
Those things are undeniable truths.
The other moment I always think about is it's really interesting to watch the moment of when you walk out and how willing to listen some people are when you go have a seat and they're like, they sit down. Like the ones who are like, yep, I'm sitting down. Like they are,
Guilty.
It's like, it's almost like you're a journalist, but they're treating it like a judge just said, sit down,
Well, in the more recent ones that we shot a few months ago in Michigan, we had one of my production partners was there and he said, wait a minute, this guy, in one case was already given his rights.
Yeah.
Didn't have to do anything. Could have said, I want to get out of here. But complied and sat with you.
Yeah.
Wow.
Even with COVID, precautions in place. I mean, it was a bit of a aggressive thing to work out in the middle of the pandemic or towards the end of the pandemic to actually do one of these investigations. I mean, we had all kinds of protocols. And yet these guys showed up. I mean, we had in the latest investigation, we had a Michigan prison guard. A corrections officer. We had a guy who was a contractor who did work in the governor's mansion. We had a guy in auto engineering. I mean, this is 17 years after the first investigation. And I guarantee you, we could go back to places where we have already done them, and people would show up.
The same dudes, you mean?
I don't know if it's the same dudes, but the same type of dudes.
Same type of dude.
Yeah.
Have you ever caught a woman doing this?
Never. And there you go.
But call me a chomo.
Number one, we're number one, guys. Yeah, this is the wiring, man.
I think you're
why
right.
is it? Why is it? Though,
because when I've asked that question many times to smarter people than me, and what the shrinks tell you is that when it comes to the female predator, you are more likely to see the teacher-student scenario because the female predator does not like the anonymity, whereas the male predator in many cases gets off on the anonymity.
The more casual encounter.
No, it's happened.
Yeah,
I mean,
of
I wrote a book years ago about the whole predator experience, and we did have a case where there was an online female predator, and it's happened.
But it's rare.
But when you, in our experience, and we're talking 400 plus, almost 500 guys, you know, in and out of there, not one female.
It's wild the way. Guys. I mean, I don't know if it's just the wiring of our drives that is so different. Where like men, put out messages. Like guys do stuff.
Black guys who love to fuck and fuck good. If you're a hot black guy and you want to fuck me at $23.95,
I mean, giving out his address,
move in, you
it's
move
like,
in, but you gotta fuck me. I need to be fucked a lot, man.
That's a guy's thing.
Free food, free rent.
He's giving out free food and rent.
Yeah, he's out of his mind.
Yeah,
he's so hopped up.
That's not.
A woman's never going
right.
to do that.
Yeah,
A woman's
that's
never.
not right.
No.
Women are not like
That's
this.
a fellow with some issues right there. Yeah. Just to beat the hell out of the obvious.
But it's crazy.
It's on every level. Yeah. I mean, and who does that? I mean, we got into this. I was recording the podcast for last week. The episode's out now. And the guy had sent, first of all, his screen name is Loverman Genius, right?
Okay.
And he spelled genius wrong. So that's
good.
Yeah. So we're recording this, and I'm going through the notes, and I go back and watch all the videos and immerse myself in it, which is interesting and creepy all at the same time. And the guy had sent pictures of his genitalia to, someone he thought was a 13-year-old girl.
God damn.
And I went off on this whole thing talking about it. It's like, first of all, in the history of the world, I'm going to predict that no man has ever gotten what he wanted by sending pictures of his junk to any woman in the world.
Yeah.
Has that ever worked in any way?
I know, it's nothing.
Who's going to do that?
It's repulsive.
Who's-
Nobody.
no.
You don't lead with a dick.
No, you don't.
It's not the profile pic.
Well, also, it's like, it's so different. Like a man seeing a woman's naked body, it is different. I think, like for you to be like, oh, sweet balls, like it's just it doesn't
translate.
No,
I'm sorry. I just and I don't think it's sexist. I just think it's reality.
Yeah, I think.
Yeah,
so
I
too.
agree. When they're like, "There's no difference between men and women." Really?
Yeah,
because
it's a whole lot of things that are different,
Well,
and if you don't recognize it, you're not paying attention.
you're not paying attention because most of the killing done in the world, dudes. Okay, serial killers. How many women? Maybe a couple.
Yeah.
Eileen
Wuornos.
Eileen Wuornos, our favorite, and then who else? They're not many.
There's a dozen.
Yeah.
Okay, a dozen. Okay, who's showing up on To Catch a Predator?
It's guys.
It's dudes.
Yeah.
So
Dudes.
something fucking tells me big difference.
Now the difference is that guys
Wow.
are just cooler. Guys have more cool shit going on. We're just.
That is a essential difference. There. Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's totally different.
It is wild.
You don't see. Yeah, you don't see.
Now, have you ever had a guy when you caught him be more obsessed with you? Like, oh, that's Chris Hansen. What up, dude? Oh, snap! Like more
Not
stoked.
quite at that level, but we have it. I mean, this week's podcast, the guy knew. I said, "Well, you've seen the show then?" Yeah, I've seen the show. I said, "Well, how do you feel when those guys get caught? Like you're being caught now?" He goes, "Well, I feel sad for them, but they're blah 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 blah." I said,
Those are my brothers, man.
You're the guy.
Yeah, you're the guy.
And
you're the star.
Yeah, I mean, it's.
Have you ever felt real fear in that moment? Because I feel
couple
like a lot of
times.
Yeah, where you're
couple
like,
times. I mean, you're always on edge.
Yeah, of course.
I mean, as many times as you do it, and it doesn't matter whether the police are in the next room or 100 feet away or who's working my security, it's you're paying attention.
Well, I thought about it in that all of us make mistakes, right? But you are present for what is a lot of people's most critical life mistake. Like the moment where they're like, I just fucked up my life. You've been there for more of those than anybody.
Right. And it's, so compelling, I think.
Yeah.
Because we are covering the commission of a felony.
Yeah.
I mean, and the big picture lesson I've always argued of this series for journalism in general is that it is immersive, it is experiential, it is witnessing, news, a crime as it happens. And it's enterprising in a way that, few things are. And so the lesson is, if you can use technology, if you can use enterprising techniques, whether it's this topic or anything else, it's important and compelling. And it's hard to do. It's, it's a lot goes into it.
How long does it take you to go from, decoy set to the guy showing up to the house?
It can be 30 days.
You're like 30 minutes.
Or it can be, we've had it 10 minutes.
Oh,
we've had cases where guys have shown up literally in 10 minutes after first contact.
Naked.
Fast roller.
Yeah.
Yeah.
6-pack.
Ready to go.
Yeah.
That is wild.
And walk right in. To your earlier question, we've had guys who said, "Oh, you're Chris Hansen." And I said, "Well, how did you know that?" He goes, "Oh, I watch the show all the time."
Great show, man. Really good
when
show.
I miss it, I download it from the internet. I said, "Come on."
Oh my God. Yeah, I'd imagine that in those circles, you're a huge they would know who the heck you are, right?
We did. Everybody knows the Nigerian online scams and all that, and so I conned NBC into letting us do that story, and it's hard to do because, as prevalent as the crime is, to catch somebody is almost impossible. Mm-hmm. And literally, God bless them, they committed to 2 producers plus associate producers for almost a year, on and off, working and smoking these guys out and creating identities. And because they're in Nigeria in some cyber cafe, and they can go to the next person if you call them out. And we got guys to meet us in London and in other places where we were able to confront them.
I saw a portion of this,
but it was, it was a once in a lifetime deal because nobody's going to commit to doing that. But the joke after that was, I'm sure Hansen's picture is posted in every Nigerian cyber cafe from Lagos to across the border into Benin.
Of course,
and probably the fucked up thing is you're that con artist, and you still are like. You feel legitimately upset that somebody fucked up your con. You're like, damn,
because it's an industry.
Yeah, I worked really hard to do this.
Yeah. Hey, some poor lady in, Fairfield, Connecticut is out $250,000.
Oh my God!
Into it,
It's so sad. I saw another thing where they're showing how intricate some of these cons are with sending people to pick up packages of money, packages of cash. And they're really just couriers. They don't even. Some of them don't know what they're picking up, and it's dropped off.
We did a
else.
story related to this very same thing, where they were conning people in the United States to take delivery of packages and reship them. Mm-hmm. Right. So you got somebody overseas in Europe or in Africa, and they do a sweetheart swindle essentially. So there's a beautiful picture of this woman that was, copped from some Danish soft porn site, and they developed a relationship with some poor schlep in upstate New York who's lonely, and you got to do this, you got to do that. No, she's coming. Wendy's going to meet me, and blah, 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 blah. In the meantime, all this stuff's arriving at his house, and he's taking it down to the DHL and reshipping it under the guise of doing all this stuff. So we set up, CH delivery, where you absolutely positively are going to get it. And we start delivering these packages that we infiltrate on this website where they trade all kinds of information, people's private information. And so I'm delivering them, a couple times a month. And finally we invite him in. And I said to him, who's this Wendy? Have you met her? No, but I'm going to meet her, my fiance. And I said, well, you can't trust everybody on the internet. He goes, yeah, I know. I watched that show, Dateline, and that guy, Chris Hansen. I'm sitting there, and not disguised. I'm in a fleece with the Detroit Tigers ball cap on. And he said, have you seen the show? I said, yeah, it's a pretty good show. And he said, yeah, but, he really goes after him. I said, well, yeah, that could happen to anybody. And I was about to say, he's a pretty handsome fella, isn't he? And I thought might be pushing it. But that was the intersection of, To Catch a Predator is crossing over into Catch an ID Thief, because that's what these people are doing, and unwittingly sucked into it.
What do you think is the fascinating? Because I'm one of the I'm a Dateline fan, and I'm a fan of that type of journalism and of bios, crime shows in general, and obviously it's a huge genre. But what do you think is the appeal to human beings of these types of stories?
Well, I think, at least in my case, and what I always try to do with, whether it's a predator thing or a crime thing or one of the things we've got out now in Discovery Plus on the Peter Nygard investigation or Onision in real life, is to take people inside the crime.
Yeah.
On a journey of discovery where they see things they wouldn't normally see or hear things they wouldn't normally hear. Either it's a crime that people aren't completely familiar with that'll blow their minds, or it's a crime everybody knows about where we have access that nobody else has.
Right.
And to me, that's the storytelling. But there is a fascination. I mean, it goes back to, the strange case of Leopold and Lowe in Chicago, and, a million years ago, these 2 kids who committed a crime and were only caught because one had an odd prescription for his glasses. And, I remember, hearing about it when I was a kid and being fascinated with it, and just drove me to be interested in this whole genre. But I think people in general like to be involved.
Yeah.
Like to understand how could somebody do something that heinous and then be a part of the solution in some ways.
And also, I think it's part of it is what you said about when you said the common denominator is that it could be anyone.
Yeah.
It's that we go like, who is capable of X number of crimes?
Right.
And then you always learn that
Well, it's like, what about divorce? Why do we have to try to kill our spouses?
Right.
And if a guy saddles up to you at a bar and says, well, I can kill your problem for you, that's right away. It's, it's a warning sign that's probably somebody with the ATF or DEA or the sheriff's department. I mean,
Jesus. I think
that was a real moment there.
Well, I think too, like we were watching a movie about Ted Bundy.
Mm-hmm.
What was it that with the
No
Hobbit
Man of
was in
God.
it?
Yeah.
Mhm. And there's this compelling scene where Ted Bundy's trying to convince the guy that he's meeting with that
Bill Hagmaier
that he's like, I'm not crazy. I'm he has these drives like anyone else. Like, you have crazy impulses too. I just act on them. And then I think part of it for me when I like to watch, I don't watch it very often because I'm afraid. But
don't watch it alone.
I can't watch it. Oh God, it makes me messed up.
Here's the point. Bundy wasn't a bad,
guy.
You
He's
know what I mean?
a knucklehead.
Just a real goofball. And
that bad fraternity brother.
Yeah.
But you think to yourself, like, gosh, if I could put myself in their shoes, like, what is that? Like, am I capable of it too? That's me. Is that why people are watching? Like,
sure.
Could I kill somebody? I don't know.
Yeah, I think people entertain
Have I wanted to? Yeah,
everybody's
a few times.
Because we were talking about that, how everybody's gone like, I could fucking kill this guy right now. You know what I mean?
Right.
But
you say it,
even,
but you don't mean.
But even in your most your most rageful moments, there's something inside of you that just stops you, right, from acting on it. And then there's that segment of the population that acts on it, and it's like, I think it's it always kind of fascinates us.
Yeah. So
like,
why did they act on it? And you
how
don't?
did they get to that point?
Yeah. How does that happen?
I tell you, the one that I'm fascinated with right now is that Murtaugh case in South Carolina. Where the tragedy of the
wife and the daughter and the son.
The son were killed, and then the husband is
superficially shot the other day.
Superficially shot, allegedly changing a tire, and released from his law firm with millions of dollars missing. So
and then he made the statement that I've made a lot of mistakes. And we're like, wait, what?
He went into rehab.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And when the wife and son were found dead, the police were like, they didn't even like point to him in any way.
No, and I'm not suggesting I have any insight into it, except it's just one of those really fascinating, tragic cases that it's like midnight in the Garden of Good and Evil.
Yeah,
and so I think we may have to do something on that.
Using the internet without ExpressVPN is like walking your dog in public without securing them on a leash. Most of the time, you'll probably be fine, but what if one day your dog wanders a bit too far and gets dog-napped by someone? Do you know that every time you connect to an unencrypted network, like in a cafe, a hotel, an airport, your online data is not secured? Any hacker on the same network can gain access to and steal your personal data. That's right. Your passwords, your credit card information, your bank login, all that stuff. ExpressVPN. I can't tell you enough. I love this product. Why do you want people knowing what you're doing online? It's so easy. I even know how to do ExpressVPN. It's so simple. It's an encrypted tunnel. It creates a secure encrypted tunnel between your device and the internet so hackers can't steal your sensitive data. You just fire up the app, you click one button, and you are protected. Seriously, try it out. Secure your online data today by visiting expressvpn.com/yourmom. That's expressvpn.com/yourmom. And you can get an extra 3 months free. expressvpn.com/yourmom.
It is so important, maybe now more than ever, to get out of the house and enjoy the outdoors. There's a great way to do that. You know what it is? A Rad Power Bike. I love the name. Ever wondered what was so exciting about an electric bike? You guys have heard me talk about them for a while, why people rave about them. Have you ever zoomed up a hill on a bike with a smile? Well, now you can find out. I'm telling you, I'm geeked out on an e-bike. Rad Power Bikes was voted best affordable electric bike in 5 categories by electricbikereview.com. It's a great way to get outdoors, zoom up the steepest hills without getting too hot or sweaty. Lots of fun with up to 5 levels of assisted hill climbing power. You can even ride up to 20 miles an hour without pedaling at all if you want to get the best ride without getting too sweaty. Rad Power Bikes are affordable. Most e-bikes are in the $3,000 range. Rad Power Bikes start at just $999. Most are under $1,500. I love this thing, man. Right now, for a limited time, Rad Power Bikes is offering flexible financing for as low as 0% APR, plus free shipping. Bikes are going super fast, so make sure you get your order right away. Text HOUSE to 64,000 today and get free shipping. That's the word HOUSE to 64,000. Text HOUSE to 64,000. Terms apply. Available at radpowerbikes.com/terms. Again, text HOUSE to 64,000. Do you have cases that you look back on that are either your favorite in what the story revealed or that still keep you up wondering, that you don't have closure on?
Yeah, I mean, there are a number of them, over the years. I mean, I've been doing this 40 years.
Yeah.
Right? So, I'll wake up in the middle of the night and think of something that I covered in Lansing, Michigan in 1981 that, or why did Billy Ferry in Tampa, Florida splash gasoline on a checkout area at Winn-Dixie and light it on fire, changing the course of life for so many people in suburban Tampa, and simpler things. I mean, I had been clued into the Epstein thing, 5-6 years before, it really hit critical mass, and had some good information and was, pursuing a potential enterprise sting operation in New York. And the security level was just such that we couldn't penetrate whatever he was doing. And so I got busy with other projects, to be honest with you. But it was the Miami Herald reporter who kept chipping away on a daily basis. She just wrote a book, Perversion of Justice. And Julie K. Brown is the author's name. And she convinced some of these victims to speak out and be public. And that's what made the case. I mean, that's where local journalism can really influence justice. Because the U.S. attorney at the time in New York, when they announced the charges, flat out said, without the Miami Herald and the work of this reporter, we wouldn't be here with this federal prosecution.
That case is it's fascinating. Twisted. It's twisted on so many levels. But do you, when you look at that case now, do you have still questions, suspicions about everybody that interacted with him?
Well, yeah, because I've been told by people who I believe know and have firsthand knowledge that there were pictures in that safe in the home in New York, evidence. And I have ledgers that were taken from that house in Palm Beach, West Palm Beach, with lists of names. People were involved. And there are pictures of prominent people. And so, who's got influence there? I don't like to engage in speculation I can't back up.
Right.
But you have to wonder.
Yeah.
Now, is there anything I've come across that indicates it was anything other than a suicide? No.
Right.
But, do the math. It raises questions.
The way the circumstances of the death will always be, they're going to lead to.
Well, yeah, it's consistent with the suicide, but
Right.
how does that happen in a federal law?
Right. And when he's one guard's sleeping and the guy's on break, and
it's.
And then you had Michael Baden saying that for in his forensic analysis that it was much more consistent with homicide, or as he says, homicide.
Homicide.
Yeah, that's how he says it. It's so weird. But he's one of the most prominent forensic.
Well, and the other issue that it all speaks to is the sense of impunity because of money and power. And was especially striking if you look at Unseemly, right, which is this other series that I was executive producer on, the Peter Nygard case. The guy in the fashion industry.
So a lot of people don't know about him.
Yeah, so
we covered him one time because we consider him to be a cool guy.
The Cool Guy Club.
guys.
That's a bad club right
Yeah,
there.
that's not a good club.
Yeah.
That's what we call them, the cool guys.
Yeah.
So this guy's like
There
one of
he
the
is
founding
on that.
members,
on
the
the-
cool guy. And
there
then
he
he's
is on the
cool
other
guy.
monitor. But yeah,
Yeah,
there's.
Peter Nygard. So we.
Will you brief people on like Peter who don't know though? Like
Peter Nygard is a multi-millionaire, borderline billionaire Canadian fashion mogul.
Mm-hmm.
If you bought a pair of women's jeans in most department stores, there was a high chance that Nygard made them. Dillard sold all this stuff. A lot of mid-level department stores and some higher-end department stores. He did private label stuff. So he made a ton of money, and he had his headquarters in New York, Winnipeg, big place in Marina Del Rey in Los Angeles, and a huge compound in the Bahamas.
Mm-hmm.
And in the Bahamas, he was recruiting very young women for sex. It involved drugging, forced rape. All rape is forced, but it was aggressive. And investigators believe that he's probably sexually assaulted thousands of women over 50 years.
Wow.
From women who wanted to be models to young children.
Jesus Christ,
involving
man.
druggings, violent, brutal, physically aggressive sexual assaults. And he got away with it because he was buying people off. And he was intimidating guys like me with lawsuits, and because he was in Canada, the CBC was on him. Well, he, made their lives hell.
Yeah.
And we were fully anticipating being in his crosshairs.
Yeah.
And we didn't because of the timing of the thing. He was actually arrested and indicted just as we were getting ready to roll this out on Discovery Plus. But it is really, really, I did a lot of the interviews with the victims in the Bahamas, and it was just absolutely draining.
It sounds like
the courage that these young women had to come forward.
Oh my God, I can't even imagine.
And then, he was involved in all this stem cell stuff. So he was allegedly impregnating young women, coercing them into having abortions, and then having the stem cells harvested from the aborted fetuses to inject in himself.
Oh my
in this quest for never-ending
God.
youth and virility.
I mean, is there anything more evil? I don't think I've heard of anything more evil in my life. That might be the worst thing I've ever heard.
And then, to top it off, I get a
Jesus
phone call one day.
Christ.
We're up to our eyeballs in this investigation, and a guy calls me who I've known for many years. He's involved in a lot of things, and says, "Hey, it's that Nygard store you're working on." I said, "Yeah, absolutely." He said, "Call this guy." And it ended up being the lawyer who represented the guy who was his videographer for 3 years, who just out of a sense of justice shared all those hundreds of hours of video. So not only did he have the pamper parties and all that, we had
pamper parties.
The private jet and the stripper pole and going to Asia to get the stem cell research. I mean, all that we had. So suddenly a great story turns into an incredibly rich story with video that has never been seen before.
Oof. It sounds a lot like
That is
the
so
like there's parallels to the Weinstein story.
Well, very much so. But this thing, I mean, literally between dealing with investigators and not endangering a law enforcement investigation and getting people to talk to us and navigate every day for a year of my life was like a 3D game of chess working on this thing. I mean, it was, and I was just one of a lot of hardworking people on this.
Sure.
I mean, Blackfin Productions, Discovery Plus. I mean, I've done a lot of work with Discovery over the years and hope to do much more because they're a great operation. But,
is your Nygard piece out?
It's out on Discovery Plus. It's called Unseemly. It's a 4-part series.
4-part series.
The
I'll
Peter
check that
Nygard
out.
investigation. It's get comfortable because it's, my almost 30-year-old son who's in television and video production and has worked with me and does a lot of films and commercials. He sat with me and watched the first episode. He said, "Dad, can we take a break and go out and get some pizza before we come back for part 2? I said, we can do that.
I felt like that after watching part 1 of that Michael Jackson. I was
very,
like,
very
"Ugh."
powerful. Yeah, but it's important, and it's again, it goes back to the Miami Herald and Julie K. Brown and Epstein. Without that work, you don't get justice. And I wasn't the only one covering the story. We weren't the only ones covering the story. I mean, the New York Times worked on it. We worked on it. The Canadian Broadcast Company. I mean, people were on it. But he had pretty much bought his way out of every issue he ever had.
Oh my God.
In the Bahamas. And the interesting thing about it was he was neighbors with a billionaire, Louis Bacon, who runs a hedge fund, and they got into a property dispute.
That's right.
And initially it was, billionaires battling over a beachfront property in Bermuda.
Yes.
And there had been some people who wrote about it. I think Vanity Fair may have done a piece and some others. But it never rose to that level of horror that we, uncovered and infiltrated. And to Bacon's credit, I mean, his people uncovered all this criminal activity in what was a environmental property battle.
Yeah.
And did the right thing and hired people and got lawyers involved to represent the victims and push for justice.
Wow.
And so, we may never have gotten to this point without Louis Bacon and his family.
And had Nygard just been like, you can have a couple more yards of the driveway if you want.
Yeah, or
just
stop because his compound there was like something out of Jurassic Park.
Yeah.
I mean, it's crazy.
Yeah.
And or it was. And that was really the thing that got it rolling.
Sorry, I'm still stuck on impregnating women, forcing them to have abortion. Girls, aborting the fetuses, and then taking the stem cells from the aborted fetuses to make him look younger.
I mean, he looks great. I got to give him credit.
Yeah,
he's a very good-looking guy.
He's, they arrested him in Winnipeg last January. Man. And he's been held without bail pending extradition to this country for trial. And that extradition hearing is not even happening until November. And now he's not been on his drugs and his injections and his supplements and all this stuff. So apparently he's having kind of a rough go.
Ooh, poor Peter.
Poor guy. Yeah.
Sorry, Peter. I've heard, I think I want to say that if you go to Winnipeg Airport, wasn't there like a statue of him or some shit?
I don't think at the airport, but there were, I mean, he was
somewhere in Winnipeg. There was like,
not anymore.
I want to say there was
at his corporate headquarters.
Really?
Yeah.
Maybe check out Winnipeg Airport. Is there?
Yeah, there were. I think he had a banner there. I don't know. If it was
maybe it was a banner.
He had. Yeah,
maybe it was like a big sign at Winnipeg.
Yeah.
Put Winnipeg Airport.
I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, Winnipeg Airport. Maybe it was. Oh yeah, see, it was like that thing.
Yeah.
He welcomes you to Winnipeg.
Welcome to Winnipeg. Yeah.
Yeah, and he looks like.
Look at the muscles.
Looks like the TRT is fucking kicking in for Pete.
The headquarters is on Broadway, or used to be at Broadway and 40th, which when they raided it, the FBI and NYPD, the Human Trafficking Task Force, we couldn't get a crew fast enough. So I actually ran down there with a cell phone to get, video of the agents and the cops because it was, 15 blocks from our apartment in New York City. So I ran down there. Like being in local news again.
Jesus, man. Yeah. Have you ever heard of Fedsmoker?
What is that?
Fedsmoker is a guy who he wishes he were you. He wishes he was. He claimed that he would smoke out like bad cops.
Vigilante?
Yeah, but like self-made, if you will.
Right.
And then he used to carry around a pouch that said "baby raper" on it, and it was a stamp inside, and he would say basically like, "You're going to get the stamp on your forehead," and he would basically he claimed that he had put away bad cops and discovered ones who were chomos, and this is him.
Hey, brother, I'm on record for a moment. What is this place, anyways? What is this place?
You don't need to film me.
Oh, I'm new to documentary. Listen here.
I don't care. I don't want to be
This is America, you dumb son of a bitch, okay?
You dumb son of a bitch. I'm a private person, and I don't want to be
I'm a fucking American, you stupid fuck. I can ask you anything I want.
He had an aggressive tactic.
Yeah.
Very confrontational.
I think I've seen some of this. Yeah. And this was a alleged.
No, this guy's just a poor guy doing his job.
Oh,
this guy's just a security guard, and he.
And what was the purpose of him being?
So what I ended up learning about him, because he put out many videos. A lot of them are kind of hard to understand. But he was really into meth. And one thing we learned through Dr. Drew Pinsky is that he said consistently you find that people on cocaine run from the police and people on meth go towards them. So we found that this guy, anytime he encountered somebody with a badge, he just immediately made a beeline and he would start interrogating police officers on camera. Like sometimes like filling up at a gas station.
For no reason.
And he was like, he would call cops like, are you a baby raper cop? And they'd be like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
But in his mind, it was like he was serving justice, you know? And he did this. I mean, I think there's one up here. He's just.
Hey, are you State Patrol?
Just going up to a guy.
What's your name?
But just right away.
What is it?
Jordan Sherrill.
And who's your captain?
The captain out here? Or captain
Yeah, your captain.
Darce Wheel.
I just had a sheriff deputy and his buddy come up and go, was you filming some lady?
Shit like
Did you
this,
hear about it?
you know, and he would.
So listen here, I have a thing. A trooper broke the law yesterday in Oklahoma, and said that stamping a baby raper stamp on someone's face is a rape charge. Do you agree?
Yeah. So he filled the internet with these hundreds of videos like this. He would go to city council.
Poor state trooper is just trying to get gas.
He's just filling up his car. Yeah. And
he's patient.
Yep.
Sweet.
I mean, you can see his. This is a
I
city
like to
council
thank
meeting.
you.
There's the pouch. He carries that around.
And that's
you know?
his eyeglass can.
And then he has
And
like
his
multiple recordings. And then these people are just like trying to conduct.
And where is he based?
He was based in the outside Phoenix.
I'd heard something about this guy.
Yeah.
Was he on To Catch a Predator?
I don't know.
I don't
Not that
think.
I'm aware of.
Yeah, his real name was Conald Eugene Peterson. But he would have gladly accompanied you to.
Oh, I'm
every
sure.
single-
Yeah.
Yeah. He would have let you do the talking, and he would have pulled his stamp out.
Yeah,
I would love to
I'm
do
good. Got a great team already. Very, very capable
need a
team.
co-host?
Oh, you don't need
Yeah.
Fedsmoker there.
I'm a solo act.
Yeah, how do you feel about stamps? You think we should stamp the guys? I kind of like that as punishment. Like if you actually are, if you show up where you think a child's going to be, I think you should have some type of scarlet letter. I like that idea.
I do too.
P for predator.
Yeah. I think that'd be great. Or a public castration or something.
Well, now we have
that.
the internet, so it exists forever. So it's
It
sort of,
does.
That's
you know,
nice.
you know.
Yeah. That is good.
And the people follow these cases.
Yeah.
Good.
I mean, I get emails, voicemails. We track them ourselves too. But I mean, there's a whole army out there.
Good. There's a Megan's Law website in California here. We used to live in a dicey part of LA, the Rampart division.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes I would just put in our address and just watch those blue cubes light up around our.
Yeah. It can be shocking.
It is.
I was like,
if you've never done that, it can also ruin your day.
Yeah.
You're like, oh no.
Yeah, go see who's in your neighborhood.
Yeah.
Megan's Law website.
Well, it's
Put
good to
in your
know. I
address.
mean, it'd be worse if you didn't know.
Oh yeah,
You know.
that's why I look it up. Make sure these creeps aren't out there. A lot of lewd and lascivious behavior, contact. A lot of public exposure.
It's uber depressing. Can I ask you, of all the because you covered Unabomber and Columbine, when you look back on that, I mean, obviously those are all huge, significant stories. Do you have one that like has left such an impact on you that you sometimes wake up and think about of those world stories?
Well, I think 9/11 still is.
Yeah.
And I was on the plane coming out here yesterday from New York. I was watching the documentary that is out now with all the access to the Bush administration.
Oh, right.
And,
yeah.
It takes it from, I think it's Jeff Daniels who narrates it, but it takes it from, the morning jog that the president had with the reporter from Bloomberg, whom he called Stretch, and starts there. And just reliving the tick-tock moments of what happened. I was in Toronto on an obviously unrelated story. And the whole crew was going to go out and have a few pops the night before. And for whatever reason, I miraculously said, no, I'm good. You know, you guys go ahead. So I was up early. I went for my run, Starbucks. And I'm in the hotel room, and I see the Today Show start to go to the World Trade Center. If memory serves me correctly, they popped up a piece of video with smoke coming out.
Mm-hmm.
And he said, we're going to check this out, Lauer says, and we're going to get right back. And I called the office, and I said, what's going on? And, you know, people are still just kind of getting their day together in New York. And they said, well, it looks like a Learjet or somebody had a heart attack and crashed into it. I said, okay, all right. And then kept watching, had another hour to kill before we were going to shoot more in Toronto. And the second towers hit. And I called. I said, I'm on my way. So I get my producer, and we head to the airport. And I called somebody who was with the intelligence agencies, and I said, what's happening? He said, you're not going to get a flight. Airspace has just been shut down. Get a car. I said, get a rental car.
Yeah.
Got, you know, one of the last ones, and we drove from Toronto, barely got over the border from Canada into the United States at the Peace Bridge there near Buffalo. And I said, where do you want us, New York or Boston? Because Boston
was the origin.
Was the origin of two of the planes, at least. Three of the planes. And they said, we don't have much coverage in Boston. Go there. And so we did, and we covered the story from there for the first couple of days. And it was just, you know, you had the sense of you know, being there for, you know, Pearl Harbor. Or that it was my generation, our generation's biggest moment. And the sense of responsibility, because information was flying so quickly. And they talked about it in the documentary. I have to finish watching it. I watched only the first half of the plane. But they talk about the plane that went down in Pennsylvania.
Mm-hmm.
And the information I was getting from very credible people was that plane was shot down by our military to prevent it from flying into the White House or the Capitol, which was in play. I mean, look, one of the planes went into the Pentagon.
Yeah.
So, you know, do you report that? So in the midst of all this tragedy of what we thought initially could have been 20,000 deaths, you know, it was 3,003 and change ultimately. And to be in the middle of that, and, you know, you can't guess. You know, you got to be right. And to deal with all that, it was quite something. And it brought it all back yesterday on the plane watching it.
When you look back, maybe in general, but even specifically to 9/11, how do you feel about conspiracy theories? You know, because obviously the 9/11 ones some of them are very well known, but now with the age of information that we're in, there are conspiracy theories on everything.
Yeah.
And then you're somebody that, you know, reports what you think.
I think, you know, look, it really happened. The people who died doing it really did it. I think the key questions that are unanswered are, you know, what's being talked about now, what's being declassified, or are connections between the Saudi government, the Saudi royal family, and the hijackers.
Mm-hmm.
And I was going through documents sent to me just the other day involving that. And I think what you're going to find is there may not have been an overt conspiracy involving the Saudi government. But I do believe, based upon my reporting and talking to people who are a lot smarter than I am about this particular topic, that the Saudi government was so afraid of bin Laden and him leading an uprising in the kingdom. And, you know, so many people so oppressed and being paid by the government to just be quiet that they appeased him and Al-Qaeda in a lot of different ways. And I think this was potentially one of those ways. And so there was at least tacit, you know, involvement there by looking the other way. And when you look at, and there were failures at every level. I mean, look, the FBI wasn't talking to the CIA, and there are some good reasons for that and not so good reasons for that. And you had, you know, Hamzi and Al-Midar and San Diego, and you had people under surveillance and video in Kuala Lumpur. I mean, there was stuff happening. I mean, there was a lot of chatter leading up to that.
Yeah.
You know, but at what point does that mean somebody's going to pull the trigger? But it was, I'll tell you one story that just still blows my mind. And this came from an FBI agent, supervisor who was right there with the head of the FBI in New York at the time. And the second tower is coming down, and they push the FBI chief in New York into a doorway of a deli, and the debris comes flowing like a wild torrent by them, and they come out and they're dusting each other off, and in the air is this plane ticket, and somebody picks it up, and it is one of the hijackers.
No.
They run it, and it links, that ticket is part of the link that puts Mohammed Atta and that crew all together.
What?
Within the hours. That's a true story. We reported it back.
Really?
Yeah.
The ticket?
Ticket.
But isn't that
wafting in the air?
But see, that you couldn't make that up. And
No.
that's one of the stuff of life. You're
Yeah.
like, wait, what? That's how that happened? I have to ask you one more question. You've seen so much of humanity and your whole in 40 years of a career doing this, and I don't know, man. What do you think about people?
Well, I think they're generally good. I mean, every time I look, unquestionably, I've developed a darker view of the world and a very dark sense of humor. And, Gabrielle will call me out on that from time to time and say, look, it's really not all like that. But I have developed just kind of a way of looking at the world that, I do think there are many more good people than bad people. I figured out a way to compartmentalize, the shit of the world,
right,
and live my life. Does it take its toll? I don't know, maybe, but I'm okay with that.
Yeah. Are there good people and people who just don't know any better, or are there good people and then people that are just born bad? Do you know what I mean?
I think they're both. I mean, that's we as a society, we want easy answers. Like, those are bad humans. They're born that way. Lock them up forever. And there are some of those people. But more often than not, there's a combination here. And we have to figure out, why people do this and what the motivation is. And again, it's demand reduction, which is difficult. And so our best hope is education. And it's part of what drives me when I do these stories and these shows and these series, is that I truly think that if you can get into the mind of a predator or criminal and understand a little bit about how it works, and then combine that with the voice of a victim, you can prevent other people from becoming victims. And people always say, well, how do you not beat the shit out of these guys? Well, the answer is I'm truly curious as to what makes them tick.
Right.
Anybody can jump out of a back room or from behind a bush and create 10 seconds of dramatic video chasing somebody down the street with a mic. My job, or what I believe my job to be, is to engage this human being, as horrifying as they may be, and get them to talk to me and to help me to understand what the hell was going on in their mind, in their life, that made them show up at this house to do whatever they're going to do. And I take lessons from guys past. One of the best questions that Mike Wallace would ever ask is, explain.
So simple, right?
And just stay quiet. Too many reporters today, and I try to teach this to young people, my kids included, that they don't like dead air. They feel like they have to say something at all times.
Sure.
Let it be uncomfortable.
Yeah. What happened? Yeah.
Yeah.
Let them talk. I mean, being a good interviewer is a good listener. Most important.
Well,
I feel like we could talk to you all day.
I know. My final question: did you steal some of Peter Nygard's stem cells from dead babies? Why do you look like this? What's the secret?
I, 2 or 3 years ago, I got had a bit of a health kick. Nothing extreme, just kind of. I found myself one summer getting a little chubby, let's just say, and so I changed my eating habits and added some exercising habits. And actually, there's a fellow, Robert Brace, who as a trainer in New York who I see, and he's very good. He's got me boxing and jumping around.
You look good, Chris.
I feel good.
You look good.
I feel good.
Well,
clean living and the love of a good woman. That's
there you go.
Hey.
That works. Chris Hansen, thank you very much for stopping by.
Thanks, guys. It was really a treat. Thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
Can't wait to see the stuff. And the podcast?
Podcast is Predators I've Caught with Chris Hansen on all platforms. We've got a YouTube channel, Have a Seat with Chris Hansen. We've got Cameo. We've got Discovery Plus and more stuff coming.
There it is. Can't wait
in
to
the
see
works
more.
right now.
Can't wait.
You.
Thanks
You're
so much.
awesome.
Thanks for coming.
Thank you.
Thank
No, it was
you.
a treat.
See you guys next time.
Bye, Mommy.
Just let me eat you one time.
Okay.
And I guarantee you're gonna ask me to stay to your house. You're gonna sleep for 3 days, my baby. I can cook for you, clean up your house. When you come home, baby, you just gotta jump in the tub with all them bubbles. Once I touch your booty, I'ma make you cry. Guess what? One turn, one turn, one turn, one turn, one turn, one turn.
Hi, thank you for watching that episode of Your Mom's House. I really appreciate it. If you want to see more, you can click on any of these videos in this general area. And also, if you haven't subscribed, please do. It helps feed our cats. We don't have any cats.